The Department of Justice sending nearly $500,000 to the state's juvenile justice system.
John Trainer spoke with Senator Catherine Cortez Masto about where that money will go. It's the subject of tonight's Vegas Lost.
Before she was senator, she was our attorney general, the attorney general who oversaw some of that juvenile system. Tonight, we talk about where we've been and where we need to go. Mental health, detention, and helping teenagers come back home. That's the focus of a $411,000 grant from the Department of Justice to the state of Nevada. Money heading to the Division of Child and Family Services, part of a federal effort to help states change the way they deal with juvenile detention.
We have a lot of work to still do, but I think by the state and everybody coming together and really kind of talking about a game plan for reform and what it can look like and how we can achieve it, I think that's an important first step for us to have taken, and now we need to follow through.
But that first step has been happening for years. As Attorney General, now Senator Catherine Cortez Masto sat on a governor-created subcommittee that introduced changes to the system. That group created a plan to regionalize detention, close the Nevada Youth Training Center in Elko, and keep kids found guilty of crimes closer to home. But that was back in 2012, and those plans were never realized. Today, Masto says we need to do more than just propose change.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done. It is a system change. And I have always been clear that, we have kids who come into our system and act out because of the environment they come from or something is happening, and we've got to do a better job by them.
So what does change look like? Well, at a federal level, reentry programs are being introduced. Nevada hopes to do the same here, as the state also weighs changes to the way we house young inmates. One thing is clear. Senator Masto wants action.
Here's the other thing, and I see it happening, but it needs to continue. We can't just do a report and then just say we're going to put it on a shelf somewhere. We've studied it, okay, we're done, and there's no follow-up. Now that we have done that, that should be the blueprint. And we should continually, all of the stakeholders should continually move forward to make those changes and address it, working with our local state governments and private sector. It really is important that we continue down that path.
The money is already earmarked this time around, earmarked by the Division of Child and Family Services. The subcommittee the senator sat on, though, back in 2012 was rather abruptly shut down. We don't really have a reason as to why. It was replaced by another subcommittee that is starting again from scratch.
So, always a lot of questions to ask, and we want to let you know that John will be taking your questions live on Facebook. Right. If you have any story ideas or even want to sound off about what John has talked about tonight, take a look at juvenile crime. You can email those over to vegaslost@news3lv.com. John, thank you.
Now News 3 is your weather authority.